if we want to move any vehicle, it has to overcome certain amount of forces. So these forces are the aerodynamic force, acceleration force, gradient force, and the rolling resistance force. So we will be doing the modeling of all these forces in the Scilab. So first is your aerodynamic force, which is given by half into rho A into CD into V square, where rho is the density of the air, A is the frontal area of the motorcycle or any car that you have in meter square, then CD is the coefficient of the drag, and V is the velocity vehicle speed at which it's moving. So from this formula you can say that the aerodynamic force is directly proportional to the square of the vehicle speed. So as the velocity increases, the aerodynamic force also increases. We will see how to do the modeling of the aerodynamic force in the Scilab. So I'll just switch back to the Scilab screen. So again we will be using the XCOS. So again go to application and select XCOS. So it will launch the XCOS screen. So again rearrange the screen. Then I'll just write the formula for aerodynamic force. So just double click on the screen. It will show you this text option, and then just double click on this text to edit it. So just press Ctrl F2 to get the text editing window. So just write it as a aerodynamic force FA, which is equal to 0.5 into rho into area, which is, I'll just write A into coefficient of drag into velocity square. Then I'll just change it to higher value and then bold, and then click OK. So looks like it's not edited, so I'll just do the process again. So double click, select the text, and then press Ctrl F2, or you can just go to select the text, use right click on it, then go to format and then select this edit. It will give the edit window. Then just write the formula aerodynamic force. So this is your formula for calculating the aerodynamic force. Then from this formula we can see we will be requiring 5 different blocks. So we'll just go to this sources and then just add 5 different constant blocks. So I'll just select, drag and drop the 5 constant block into CD into V square. Then next is your square block. So just go to mathematical operation and select this power block for doing this. Then we will be doing the multiplication. So we will just select the multiplication block. So just go to mathematical operation and select this product block to do the multiplication. Then to show you the answer, just again go to Syn, select this affix and then the event clock. So go to event handling and select this clock. So we will just write all the values. So this will be a half, which is 0.5 half into rho. The value for rho is the value of rho, that's your air density, which is around 1.3 kg per meter cube. So I'll just write the text to it, this as a air density. So we'll just air density, which is 1.3 kg per meter cube. Then next is your area, so frontal area. So let's assume that the frontal area of the bike to be around 0.9 meter cube. So just write it as a frontal area. Then next is your coefficient of drag. So just write it as a coefficient of drag. So the value of this as assumed to be 0.3, and next is your velocity value. So let's assume that we want to move the vehicle from 0 to 40 kilometers per hour. So we will just write it as a 40 kilometer per hour. So as we want the unit to be present in meter per second, so again we will go to mathematical operation, use this gain block to convert the kilometer to, so I'll just kilometer per hour to meter per second. So again just select this gain block and write, so kilometer to meter is 1000 divided by second minute to hours to second, so 1000 divided by 3600. So I'll just select this block and expand it, so it will show you the answer more clearly. Then again just connect all these blocks. So as the multiplication is having only 2 inputs but we want 5 inputs, so I'll just double click on it and then add 5 inputs to it. So just use semicolon 1, again semicolon, and then the last one. So we will be requiring 5 1. So just click OK and it will show you the 5 input. So again just increase the size of this block so it will be more easier to see. Then again just connect this block, then select this air density, then the frontal area, then coefficient of drag, then your velocity. So just double click on it and then type in velocity 40 km per hour converted to meter per second. Then it is velocity square, so just convert it to square, then do the square of the velocity and connect it to this block. We'll just expand it so that it will be easier to adjust this. Then again get the output of this block to a fish block so that we can see the answer, and then the clock. So this will be your aerodynamic force. Then just select Ctrl Alt and press O for optimal line orientation. So just Ctrl Alt O. So this way we can orient all the lines, and then just run the simulation to see how much drag force is required to move from 0 to 40 km per hour. So I'll just run the simulation and we will get the answer. So that is around 21.7 Newton. So in next we will see how to create. Now we have calculated the aerodynamic force. Now we will see the next force, that is your acceleration force. So the formula to calculate the acceleration force is given by GVM into acceleration. GVM is the gross vehicle mass. Gross vehicle mass is including the mass of the vehicle plus mass of the driver. So for our calculation we will assume the mass of the vehicle to be 100 kg and the mass of the driver to be 85 kg. So the gross vehicle mass will be around 185 kg, and for acceleration it will be 40 km per hour, or in seconds it will be equal to 11.11 meter per second. So we will see how to do the acceleration force in Scilab. So I'll just minimize. So this is how we calculated aerodynamic force. Now we will see how to calculate the acceleration force. So I'll just create another block. So I'll just open it up and use the same block. So I'll just write the formula to calculate the acceleration force. Then just press Ctrl F2 for editing that text. So it's not selected. So I'll just Ctrl F2 and then just increase the size to 20 and bold. So I'll just write the formula. F acceleration is equal to gross vehicle mass into acceleration. So bold and italic. So with this we can know we will be requiring two blocks. First will be a gross vehicle and next will be a acceleration block. So for gross vehicle we will just drag and select this and create a copy of this. Just select this block, press Ctrl key and then just drag it on the right hand side to create a copy. Now we want to calculate the acceleration. So as we can know that velocity acceleration is derivative of velocity dv by dt, and we have the input of velocity from over here. So what we will do is, so we have written the acceleration, right? So we will just create another block of acceleration. So just select this block and create a copy of it. So press Ctrl key and create acceleration copy. So as we want the product of this block, so I'll just go to mathematical operations. I'll just minimize it. Just go to mathematical operation and select the product block. So just select this and paste it out over here and create a copy of this block. So just select this block, press Ctrl key and create a copy of it. Again I'll just expand it. So just reposition it. So we want the multiplication, so I'll just remove this negative sign and click OK. The gross vehicle mass of this vehicle is assumed to be 185 kg and the acceleration is around. So if we assume that the vehicle is having a velocity of 11.1 meter per second and it reaches 0 to 40 kmph in 4 seconds. So the acceleration will be velocity divided by time. So 11.11 divided by 4, which is 2.7 meter per second square. So 2.7 will be our acceleration. So just click OK and then so this will be your, I'll just write the name. So gross vehicle mass, and this will be your acceleration in meter per second square. So I'll just connect this block, just join these two lines, then of each it, then connect this event handling, and this will be your acceleration force. And again run this simulation. So we will be requiring 499.5 Newton force. Then next we will look into the gradient force. So as the vehicle moves in hilly areas or slopes, so at that time it has to overcome the gradient. So for calculating the gradient force, the formula is gross vehicle weight into sine theta. We see in the right hand side figure. So if the vehicle is moving in flat surface, it will not have this. So it will have a theta as 0 degree. So the only force that will be acting on this will be equal to mg. That's the weight of the complete system. And if it is going in, it's moving in hilly area or in slope, it will have two components. First will be your mg cos theta and next will be your mg sin theta, which will be opposing the motion of the bike. So that is your gradient force, which is given by gross vehicle weight into sine theta. We know the weight of the vehicle, mass of the vehicle, which is 185 kg into g, which is acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.81 meter per second, and sine theta. In a real world condition, the inclination for the surface or the road which is allowed by the respective governments is around 18 degrees. The government set the restriction that you cannot create a road at an inclination beyond this certain limit. So it varies from countries to countries. So in cities, you have seen that the parking may be underground. So during that time, the vehicle has to move, come in and out of the parking if it is in underground. This is how now we will see how to calculate the gradient force in XCOS. Now I'll just create a copy of this. So press Ctrl, select and just drop it where you want. So I'll just press it over there. Select Ctrl and just edit it. So right click, format and edit. Write this as a gradient force. Gradient force FGR, which is having a formula of gross vehicle weight into sine theta. Then select hold italic and click OK. So for this we will be requiring two blocks. So one, we will just copy this block, press Ctrl and paste, and then we will be requiring theta. So for we will just select this as an input for theta. So this will be your gross vehicle weight and this will be your theta, that is the inclination. Then we will be requiring a sine operation. So for that we will just go to mathematical and operation and select this sine block. So I'll just place it over here, and then next is your gain block. Here the input of this will be in degree, so we want to convert it into radian. So the input for this sine block is in radian, so we need to convert this input into radian and then do the sine operation on the input inclination. Then next is your multiplication. So just select this and create a copy of it. So press Ctrl, select this, and then this operate. So gross vehicle weight will be equal to 185 into 9.81, and your theta inclination is considered as around 18 degree, and click OK. So you want to convert that theta into radian, so it is pi by 180. So pi by 180 to convert degrees into radian. So I'll just write it as degrees to radian. So we'll just do the connection. So cross vehicle mass, then your degree, then degrees to radian conversion, then sign operation, and then multiplication of gross vehicle mass into sine theta. So this will give you the gradient force. So just write gradient force in Newton. Again connect this clock and then run the simulation. So the gradient force required to move the vehicle is around 560.8 Newton. Then after gradient force, we will see the next force, that is your rolling resistance force. So the formula to calculate the rolling resistance force is gross vehicle weight into the coefficient of rolling friction. So the coefficient of depending upon which surface the vehicle is traveling, it has a variable values. So this value starts, the CRR value starts from 0.01 to 0.04. So on the right hand bottom side you can see if the surface is steel rails, it will have CRR of 0.01 to 0.0025. Then for bicycle tires, if it's moving on a ground, it will have a CRR of 0.015 to 0.025. Similarly, for car tires, so it has a different variable CRR values. So we will see how to do the rolling resistance force in. So I'll just click select control K and optimize the input. The next is your rolling resistance force. So I'll just select this control and paste it out on the right hand side. So I'll just move it up further. So we'll just delete this. So just edit this one. Control F2 and right. This will be a rolling resistance force. Rolling resistance force, which is R, which is equal to gross vehicle weight into CRR, coefficient of rolling resistance, and then click OK. So for this we will be requiring two blocks. This will be our gross vehicle weight. So just press Ctrl and select this one, and next will be your another. So I'll just press Ctrl and select this. Then next will be your product block, and then a pitch and event handling. So I'll just move it to the right hand side, so it will be more easier. And just reposition it so it will be bigger. So I'll just enter the value 185 into 9.81, which is around 1008.85, and click OK. So this will be your gross vehicle weight GVW into this will be a CRR value. For our calculation, we will be considering the CRR value and click OK. So this is your CRR value. So just do the multiplication of these two values. So this will give you the rolling resistance. So just double click on screen, double click on text. This will be a rolling resistance force in Newton. So just connect these two blocks and then the clock. Just Control A and O for optimizing the connection. Again run the simulation. So it will give you the rolling resistance force. So this is around 363.0 Newton. So now we will calculate the total force that is required to move the vehicle. So I'll just reorient everything. The total force required will be, so I'll just select the summation block. So I'll just minimize it, then go to mathematical operation, then select the summation block. So just select this summation block, then go to source, so go to sync, select this uppitch, and then go to event handling and select this clock. So this will give me the total force that will be required to move the vehicle from 0 to 40 kilometers. So this will be my total force. So for this we will be requiring 4 input. So I'll just remove this negative, then add 2 more extra 1 to it to increase 2 input. So I'll just increase the size. For this, first will be my aerodynamic force, then next will be my acceleration force, third will be gradient force, and fourth one will be the rolling resistance force. Then Control K and optimal this connection, and then just run the simulation to calculate how much amount of total force will be required to move the vehicle. So this is around 1445. Thank you and have a nice day.